Aurelia's Reverie, who's going to need to be built up pretty soon. They don't have one yet. I'm surprised at that, but they would like to have one soon. A lot of bursts. Look at that. The long-range poke tossing out a bunch of ultimates because, yeah, if they can bring KX down to low health, why not just do that and set up really good situations? You can see they've taken out a turret as a result of this. They're like 1,500 range area of effect spells just forced Team Solo Mid to evacuate their own turrets. And yeah, okay, Frost has a 7,000 gold lead. Of course, that's a significant margin to be ahead, but they're just able to force Solo Mid away from their own base because they can just hit them from so far away over and over and drop their health bars down.
Also continuously just keeping that vision anywhere they need to. They have vision of the entire team, so they know they're not being flanked, and they can just sit here all day long. You can see just how many wards they have in the jungle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 in that bottom and 2 in the top jungle. They're not even in right now. So they're just waiting to take more experience, deny those buffs, and deny the leveling from Team Solo Mid. Right now, some of these champions are still pretty early in the game. We have Xpecial at level 11, level 16s for Rapid Star, and he gets grabbed in. Said before, those apprehends paying dividends.
And Reginald, and that was really what TSM needed, is they needed to find some way to open a fight and finally initiate. There's so much crowd control and so many engagement windows for Azubu Frost. Solo Mid had to find one. The thing is, their only initiator here that had any reliable long-range initiation was actually Wall of Pain. So Reginald went for a flash Wall of Pain and relied on his team to follow through. Well, it turns out they did. Dyrus got in range for the Apprehend, actually flashed to land an Apprehend just to pick up that kill on a Rapid Star. And now it's going to be interesting. It's a base trade versus a Baron attempt. Solo Mid knows they were able to do this. KX actually got a recall back right now.
They got bumped up by Baron. KX will not be able to back. They do grab Baron, but they're going to lose an inhibitor for this. This is going to be huge map control for Azubu Frost, and they're going to be able to walk out of that bottom lane, but they're going to take the inhibitor before that. They know they have 8 seconds at least, plus another 3 for them to get to that inhibitor, unless they come down, which is even longer for walking. A beautiful job there. Maokai getting taken down. He executes himself, seeing the Requiem come in. I think he kind of stopped so he would go down, not getting a kill. We see the odd one coming in. They may have spent too long. Woong will go down here, not really even pushing on Reginald that much. And the chase is on now for Mad Life. Overdrive going to come back up in 4 seconds, and the chase is stopped as they realize their base is going to start getting hit hard.
This was overall, I think, really good. I'm not even sure, actually. I would have normally said in a normal game, it's better for Team Solo Mid. They got a bunch of golden experience for Baron buff. They picked up a kill. The execute on Cloud Templar doesn't matter, of course. No one in range for XP. No one getting the gold for that. He does lose the Oracles, which does hurt, but overall still, you know, Team Solo Mid, they got a bunch of gold, they got some extra experience overall, but the difficulty though is they've lost an inhibitor, and this actually plays exactly into Azubu Frost's playstyle. They want to play that long-range poke, those long-term engagements. They want to keep TSM kind of at the back and on their toes. And this lineup's going to make it very difficult.
Coming in from the backside, Reginald on the left. A huge amount of damage coming from Rapid Star, but he falls. Reginald is forced out of this fight. The Requiem is down. He cannot help his team here. Dyrus getting hit with a turret shot, and he's forced out as well. It looks like Azubu Frost is now in the re-engage. Could they get the grab onto one of them? Ezreal goes down. We see the chase onto Reginald here. Over the top, we switch over to that chase onto Xpecial. They're all going in the middle. A beautiful shot blast through the acceleration gate coming from Shy. They start to clean this one up. Xpecial trying to stay in front here. The movement speed just not enough for Overdrive. The grab onto the odd one. Xpecial goes down, and it looks like the odd one will lose his oracles here. The double kill coming out for Woong on the entire fight. Dyrus, the only one alive.
Now it's going to make it a 3-on-1 in the base. The inhibitor completely open. There is no way Dyrus stops this push. I don't think he has the damage to deal it. He's actually going to spam dance up in the back line at the base. Dax flying up in the air. No problem, Dyrus. And they're going to be in good shape here, taking down that inhibitor. And now Azubu Frost has the exact lineup they need to just push top lane over and over. It'll be very, very difficult for Solo Mid to deal with 2 inhibitors down. This is exactly the situation that Azubu Frost wants to be in.
You can just see how tanky they are now, Freak. Face tanking these turret shots, going through the match like they own the entire map right now. And even after that Baron, Team Solo Mid had a bit of trouble fighting them. There is just so much ability on Azubu Frost to kite out the cooldowns, and theirs are so low on most of the champions. You're going to see MF coming up hardcore with that blue buff on all of the attacks that she can get out. Double ups at one after the other, slows one after the other from her, and the entire team just synergizes with that. Blitzcrank is going to get those slows with grabs. Lux is going to be able to lock them up as well, and there's just so much crowd control they can can continuously stack one on top of the other.
This will continuously really be great for Azubu Frost. They're going to take that 1 second to finally go back to the base and buy. You can see that right now. Everyone kind of spent a little bit of time recalling back. And I mean, I want to call it actually that Shy a while ago went for a mana manipulator. He bought that right after he was done with Bloodthirster, realizing that his team was going to be sitting there in a group together, and they would be scamming abilities for a good long time. There would be a lot of mana spent, and he wanted to make sure his team overall had the mana regeneration to withstand and sort of support that style of gameplay. So even though he's a sort of a carry here and would be spending his money on damage and durability, he stopped for 475, bought the mana manipulator just to set his team up for more of that kind of gameplay. I think it's the first time I've actually seen the item even purchased in competitive play in like a year. These guys buying slightly unconventional items because they know it works for the team.
They're actually 9,000 gold up right now. It's 10-10 with 8-1 turrets. The gold generation items have accrued about 1,600 gold in that for their 50,000 gold, and those turrets just huge at 8 right now. Only one turret has been taken down for TSM, and it's not the mid lane turret either. So for their focus to all be top is going to be quite tough for them. They do have position on Baron with that, but really they want to be able to get to that mid inhibitor turret, that closest lane, and start the pressure. This is quite far off for them. Even though they got Baron, they can't put the 4-minute pause button on, and Azubu Frost is still completely in their face. They're trying to take down this last inhibitor and the inhibitor turret. If they can do this, they'll be able to just walk around the outside. The Freak, they have minions coming in from middle. They have minions coming in from bottom. This turret may go down. The flash is being expended. The Wall of Pain shredding magic resistance, but those are the cooldowns that they were looking to blow. TSM waiting patiently to fight under the turret that they may not have in the next few seconds. The inhibitors are going to start respawning, but the minion waves do have super minions in them still that are coming out of the base. They are waiting for these to get in. We can see Shyvana and Chaox trying to take down those minions as they just pressure top. Here comes that final top wave. It looks like this turret will go down. Dyrus is going to put himself out front. A beautiful push off of that as they do not get another turret. Rather, we do see one go down. It was that middle, or it was that top inhibitor turret. Thought it was for the other side of the map, but there's just too many minions and just enough poke to take it down for Azubu.
They're going to keep this pressure on. There's now no turret to keep Suleiman alive. They can still try to get some kind of initiation with an apprehend, but right now they don't have the positioning to do it. Frost would have simply walked back up towards that top side. The Baron respawning in the pretty near future. The timer on that, 36:22. So in a minute and 20 seconds, Azubu Frost can simply walk back and get a free Baron. Solamid will not be able to easily leave their base right here. Woong almost getting caught out. That would have been the chance here for Solamid. If they had the flash, they could have apprehended Woong back in and tried to go for a fight there. Now the inhibitor once more under pressure, and Solamid not trying all that hard to defend it. Azubu Frost, they kind of should be happy to just keep the poke going. The one saving grace for Solamid is their fountain is right there. They can absolutely heal themselves back up. Frost wants to keep Solamid in their base and keep them scared and keep them back because they can pick up Baron in now 50 seconds.
The inhibitor should be spawning very, very soon here. Dyrus with the Guardian Angel, Shy with a Guardian Angel as well. A final wave coming in. It's just passing the river. The Shock Blast is out. They're just kind of throwing out abilities here, trying to get the poke damage in. We saw this was very effective for Invictus Gaming, or actually against Invictus Gaming, I should say. BDD would always get taken down before the fight, and then the fight is initiated. That is what Azubu Frost is looking for. Looking for all this free damage. The Crescendo cleansed out on that one by the Quicksilver, I believe, and it looks like the fight will be huge. It's going to be all the damage going to Team Solo Mid. They have hardly any health, but they're still engaging. It looks like Azubu Frost is on their heels here, but they have quite a bit of HP still. They leave Shy alone, and TSM with a sliver of health is just able to outposition in the fight. Azubu Frost forced out of that one somehow.
And that was because they had some kind of initiation finally from Team Solo Mid. Their actual ability to fight in the late game is so strong. Chaox getting jumped on there on the turret, but Templar does not have the damage, nor does, looks like Rapidstar really have, actually he has the cooldowns. He could just put the burst onto Chaox. He's very, very low, but he's getting himself back up. There it is, he dodges it. They're going to be safe, but that is really the Team Solo Mid lineup. They have champions who can simply go into a fight or, you know, they rarely have the ability to get into a fight, but when they do, they fight so very well if they can bypass that poke. Now before it was a flash into Wall of Pain from Carthage. This time it was a flash crescendo from Xpecial on Sona. The Quicksilver Sash came out there from Woong, but it wasn't in time. Dyrus was able to flash and then apprehend him back in. Misfortune went down very, very quickly, and the fight was on. They traded 2 for 2 despite being down almost 10,000 gold because TSM, they've got a team fight lineup. They've got area of effect. They've got late game scaling. They've got all the tools for a phenomenal late game if they can make those fights happen.
8,500 gold. And a lot of turrets separate these two teams. An entire side of the map separates these two teams as an uncontested Baron now underway. 38 minutes into the match. Team Solo Mid forced to stay. Guard these inhibitors. Their one Nexus turret was down to 150, actually 315 HP in that last fight. The Nexus turret's the only ones to regenerate health, but it's only had 300 health regen since that moment, so it's not fast. Azubu Frost is definitely faster with the aggression they've been putting on. Final Spark now down to a 24-second cooldown.
And that's really the gameplay that Azubu Frost wants to keep going, is these low cooldown, long-range abilities. That Nexus turret that's low on health, that's exactly the thing that Azubu Frost wants. They've even got better poke synergy now. They've got more regeneration, both on health and mana due to that Baron buff. They're going to run out of this bottom lane. They're going to set up another inhibitor kill, but they've got super minions to fight for them. You just saw that last fight go well for Solo Mid because they have team fight power. Well, Azubu Frost wants to ride minions as part of their team fight power. They want super minions in there to help deal the damage. And look at the poke. They can bring Dyrus to half. But again, here comes the initiation.
Coming out, the lay waste almost hits onto Shy, but it was going to be the true shot barrage for most of the damage. The poke still coming out, and we can see Reginald and Chaos still giving him a little bit of trouble. Shyvana obviously with Flame Breath, a little bit of damage there, but it is still harassment. They're trying to dodge that. Flashing right over the Shock Blast to try and catch them off guard. Shyvana's Dragon Descent will lead the charge. Vengeful Maelstrom down by Cloud Templar. The entire team is forced to walk out, and MF's ult is down here. I believe she just used that Quicksilver Sash as well to clear anything that was on her. So they're going into this fight headstrong onto Reginald. He goes down. Dyrus is half health coming into this fight. They do drop down Cloud Templar. The 1-for-1 now, but slivers of health all on the side of Team Solo Mid. Chaos grabbed into the fight. This is not looking good, and it replicates a final push that we've seen before. Team Solo Mid will drop game 1 to Azubu Frost at 40 minutes into the game.
Congratulations there to the Koreans.